Out there. I was wondering how big the profits are going to be for these companies, Pfizer and Moderna, that have the vaccine for our COVID-19 virus. Um, I guess they've been around too long, but it would seem that these contracts that the Canadians, the Americans, everybody have signed with these people, they're going to make them rich beyond, well, even imagining. I don't know what a Warren Buffett's in on this one, but if I had his money, I'd certainly been in on one of these things. Um, the Canadian government signed $1 million contracts early in the deal, but what they forgot to do was get a codicil in there, which was allow them to use Canadian manufacturers to produce these vaccines once they were put on the market. The erstwhile Prime Minister came out not too long ago and blamed the fact that we weren't able to do something like this on the former government of Prime Minister Harper, going back even as far as Mr. Mulroney. But I would say he wears the mantle of the dunce in this one himself, because if they'd have negotiated something like that when they signed these multi-million-dollar contracts, we wouldn't be held up by Pfizer now. The Americans have administered something like, I don't know what, 50 million shots. We haven't even got anything like 1 million vials of vaccine, because Pfizer's given it all to somebody else. That shows you how much prestige we have in the world. But what sticks in my craw is how this Prime Minister of ours is able to pass the buck to somebody else and not wear the horns that he deserves. He can't recuse himself on this one as far as I'm concerned. Looks like England's vaccine is working pretty well. They seem to have things fairly well under control. I was talking to my grandson who's working in London, England right now, and he tells me that they're looking at relieving some of the rules, maybe still social distancing, still staying home, but maybe opening some of the businesses. That remains to be seen, but I think we're a long way from it here, and I certainly know the Americans are. I know they're champing at the bit, aren't they always? One of my little earlier rants, I talked about governments and big business are pretty much in cahoots. I guess they would be. Let's say, who pays for the campaigns that the various parties run when the elections come up? I know us peons put our little few dollars in to help the candidate that we support, but the big money has to come from the big companies. And when you think about the multinationals that work all over the world, they can pretty well write their own tickets. I said to my wife not too long ago, she said, "Why can't they get tougher on these people?" I said, "Because they just pull up stakes and go somewhere else. They're multinationals, that's what it means. They're in all kinds of countries. And the countries are giving them money, incentives to come in here and create jobs for our people. So that's the hammer of Thor that they hang over our heads. I don't know if it's fair or not, but it seems to be the way commerce works." Bye for now.